I think I've been noticing something more and more just throughout the internet and in general, that we have sort of become this congregation of gurus, and there are so many people that are taking these stances of authority figures on whatever the topic is, and I don't know if it's completely healthy for individuals to constantly pursue that level of prestige in whatever area they're commenting on. A lot of people are giving out advice, and I think it's great. I think it's the YouTube and the internet is a wealth of information for anybody looking to learn anything. You can literally become just more educated than 90% of the population by having good search habits on the internet and learning yourself through what other people are producing. But I think you need to be careful and avoid the possible toxicity that happens when you put yourself to that higher level and that higher standard of understanding, where you don't allow yourself to be wrong. You don't allow yourself to be seen as wrong, and you start to debate real information or criticisms because you're scared that your credibility is in danger. And that happens a lot of the time. And I've noticed it in myself at times when people would offer advice through something they'd see in these videos, and your initial response is always to get defensive. That's what we do. You don't want to be corrected. It's not a fun thing, and especially when you're putting public content out for people to outright debate with you about your own understanding of something that you are in the position of expertise on. And so that's something that I am constantly battling with. When I made the video about dealing with criticism, I think it was reflected there, and I think it's going to be reflected again here, that it's okay to not be right all the time, and you have to be willing with yourself to be your biggest critic. You have to do the self-analyzing of whatever your situation is that makes you better, because if as soon as you refuse to learn anything new or alter your possible viewpoints, then you will not get any better. That's your cutoff point. And that's also something that I've seen a lot in school. And we had graduation today. That's why the gym is so not packed like it usually is. Everybody was at graduation. Everybody's heading home for the summer. I'll still be here. I'll still be around. But it gave me some time to think about what people are actually learning in their classes and what kind of mentality they're approaching these learning experiences with, and how open-minded they are to getting better. I have always noticed more improvement in myself when I am appropriately critical of what I'm doing. And that was, I guess that's kind of been the theme for the last few weeks. You're going to notice that these pause squats right here, I'm trying to get deeper than I have in the past. I am trying to be more consistent with pause length than I have in the past, and it sucks at times, and it's not easy, and it pushes you to a different level where you may have to take a step back and say, this is where I'm at right now, and just be brutally honest with yourself and fix the issues that are happening. But I think it also allows you to be more realistic in what your weaknesses are, and I've gotten to the point now where I'm excited when I find something that I suck at. I suck at high bar squats. I am excited to get better at that, because it is really easy to improve on things that you're bad at. It is really difficult to improve on things that you are already proficient in and very skilled at. And so I'm excited going into this meet. I have a lot of things planned. I have a lot of weaknesses that I am digging for and searching for and trying to find out so that I can fix them. And that's a mindset that I think is more productive and will lead to higher amounts of success in the long run. So now that I've talked about all that, the actual workout itself, I put 26 minutes on the clock for the squatting portion and finished all my from 135 all the way up to that 500 for the set of 6 there. They were supposed to be 4 count pauses all the way up. Obviously, whenever I get under a heavy weight, your mind starts to count a little faster than the clock, and that's just the way it is. As long as you're consistent with that process, I think it's not that big of a deal. I think 500 for 6 pause reps with any length of pause is still probably close to a PR for me, and so I have made some improvement. The benching was totally fine, totally easy, especially considering how tough those Spoto presses or the 1-inch pause bench presses were for me last week. The rep work was great. I felt like I'm getting more and more control in those. I felt like I had a better understanding of where that stopping point is, and I could bring the bar down a little faster and still be able to stop it effectively and not have to catch the bar so much at the bottom. After my hips were cramping up a little bit during those benches, and so that affected me a little bit in these deadlifts. And that first set of 565 for 4 that I did without the belt is actually going to be a better set than this second set. I belted up a little too high, and this belt is getting a little tight for me to use with conventional pull. It pretty much stays out of the way during my sumos just because of the positioning of my hips and my forward lean. But if you watch the side view here and you watch the side view from the one where I was not wearing the belt, it is actually acting as a pivot point, pulling my stomach in and pushing my back out. And so there's a certain amount of rounding in the back that I personally consider acceptable from pulling, especially when you have really a developed upper back, which I do. And so from the front angle, it always looks like I'm rounding like crazy. The side angles, a little bit more, it looks a little straighter on the side angles than it does from the front. That's just the nature of the beast sometimes. And I do have a pretty natural curvature of my back anyway. That's just how it goes. But I can make some adjustments and possibly either nix the belt for my conventional pulls or find a temporary larger belt that I don't have to spend money on, because I don't really care about how my conventionals go. Those are a supplemental exercise and they're only in existence to help my sumo competitive stance, and that's really just what their purpose is in my programming. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the workout. I did some accessory work upstairs, a lot of hamstring stuff, some core work directly, and some pull-ups. But I'd never film up there again because of all the ladies, and I don't want to make any of them uncomfortable. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to have some more free time this summer. I've got a lot of changes going on right now. We'll be working full-time, but my girlfriend went home, and as much as I'm going to miss her, that means I'm basically going to be spending most of my time trying to work towards making this YouTube channel better. That means more technique videos, more tips and tricks. The 24-hour Q&As will be made this week and up whenever I don't have a training video up. And yeah, so good things on the way. I hope you're all having a great weekend. I'm having a pretty good one so far. And I just wish you all the best. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye.